So, this is Oddities by Maya. When you walk into our house and you look at the coat rack, you'll notice something peculiar about what sits above it. This may look like a bunch of random pieces when you look at it, a bunch of things that probably shouldn't be inside of a house. But if you ask anybody from our family, they will tell you it's my mom's oddity shelf. She is a sentimental person at heart, and this is something that ends up having some really funny exchanges between her and the things she comes across. She can find a piece of wood that looks like another object, and she'll want to hold on to them for the rest of her life, and it is something that shows her true character. It has been a running joke in our family that we need to find as many oddities as we can to please her and make her happy. This obsession started when she found a piece of wood that was shaped as an eye. It was a round piece of wood, and in the center it had a circle inside of it. And she immediately loved it, and she held on to it the whole rest of the time that we were up north on our trip. If you ask her, it was the highlight of her trip, and she couldn't express how happy she was. As a joke, me and my dad would try to take it from her and hide it, and she would get defensive, and she would get upset and try to find it as fast as she could. She would make sure that nobody could grab it from her again after that. She was very proud of her trip, and she was very proud to come home and be able to put it on top of the coat rack, which is where she started her oddity shelf. This was something that started probably a couple of years ago, and it's just hilarious every time I come home from university and I go home and I see it. Because every time there's new additions to it. The oddity shelf, there's one on the oddity shelf that's a little strange. It's a piece of wood that has a piece of mushroom on the bottom of it, and it looks like a deer leg and a hoof. That's one that my dad found for her, and she was just as excited to see to see the first. She was just as excited for this one as she was the first oddity she had. She tried showing me when she first got it, and I was immediately creeped out by it. It is right at the end, so right as you're walking into the kitchen, it's almost like it's looking over you and looking down onto you. The last oddity that she has that I think is one of her top 3 may not be so odd, but it's a form of love from me, her daughter. I found some acorns and some small sticks, and I found acorn tops, and I hot glued them all together, and I made her little people out of the little sticks. Well, this isn't an oddity. It's something that she absolutely loves and she put on top of her shelf. It's something that I found little pieces, I used my creativity, and she loves it, and she thinks it's one of the funniest things ever. My family, including my mom, are highly sentimental people, and if we find something that we like, we attach our feelings onto them, and it's really hard for us to let those feelings go. My mom's oddity shelf shows how hard it is for her to let things go and how true her character is. How we are not afraid to find what we love and to show others proudly. That's something that every time you come to our house you see, and it's something that she loves talking about, and that's something that I admire. I'm excited to help her add to her strange collection day by day to make her shelf something even bigger.